Hi guys, good morning, good beautiful morning on the Saturday, and I'm here at the Nottingham Elementary School, and today we have the Commissioner Lesley Briones visiting the school. There's a beautiful event going on inside. I just wanted to give you a little bit of the sneak peek how the event has looked like. Unfortunately today my mic system is kind of compromised. Yes, unfortunately my sound system is kind of compromised today, but I'll do the best I can to get you the closer look and everything. Meanwhile, let's stay in touch and I'll give you a tour of the property as well, plus the music and everything.
Una piedra en el camino me enseñó que mi destino era rodar y rodar, rodar y rodar, rodar y rodar. También me dijo un arriero que no hay que llegar primero, pero hay que saber llegar. Con dinero y sin dinero, yo hago siempre lo que quiero. Y mi palabra es la ley. No tengo trono ni reina, ni nadie quien me comprenda, pero sigo siendo el rey. Sí, señor. Qué bonito, qué bonito, qué bonito.
Thank you so much for the lovely music, guys, and this is I wanted to show you. Thank you so much. So you've seen my Spanish dance. Let me go inside and show you how the inside looks like, and just making documentary. This is the amazing stuff, guys. Say hi to the camera, please. This is gonna go on the camera.
Sakina rocks.
Oh, please, yes. Get to mention your name, please. Say hi. Thanks a lot. Thank you.
based on these regional councils. So I'm very thankful that now I/you/we have a direct seat at that table as those hundreds of millions of dollars are being allocated. So we welcome your ideas, and of course, HGAC funds everything from infrastructure to workforce development and beyond. We have also been working on building our talent pipeline. If you or anyone you know has interest in volunteering, potentially on a board, commission at one of our community centers, let us know, because we want to make sure all of these board seats are filled with members of the community who are deeply committed to being a part of the change. So this is just one example, Holly Maria Flynn Villaseca. She is one of the county's appointees to the Metro Board, and she actually lives just down the street from where we are today. Next, thank you. Health, can we please give a shout out to our Harris County Public Health team members who are here, and our Harris Health. So Harris Health, to start with Harris Health, thank you for the overwhelming support we saw in the bond last fall that was passed so that we can drive improvements and progress and capacity and access for LBJ, Bentob, the community clinics, and new clinics that will be built as a result of the bond. So thank you so much for being here today and for being a provider in this county, one of the largest providers in the nation of care. So thank you to Harris Health. And we've been partnering deeply with our public health department, everything from mobile clinics in terms of screenings, dental services. So look on our website because we have mobile services going around, and that's in partnership with our public health department. We have also invested over $6 million in the Reproductive Healthcare Access Fund for education, screenings, and access to contraception. Access Harris, I love this, it's 6 cohorts. As we know, sometimes navigating the government is not as easy as it should be. So what Access does is a kind of no wrong door approach. The different services that touch a particular individual, combining the data stream so that all the records are streamlined, unified, so their services are being offered. But how can we offer them with a greater return on investment in terms of taxpayer stewards as we are, plus making sure the individuals are getting better care without this labyrinth of navigating numerous social systems. So we have 6 cohorts, including violence prevention, Black maternal health, Latino chronic disease, and I don't know about you, but I'm proud to live in Harris County with the largest medical center in the world, where people literally fly across the world to get treatment. My dad, who live in the same community, where there's a 20-year difference in life expectancy, depending on your zip code in Harris County. And we lead, and lead is the wrong word because we're the worst, but we lead the nation in Black maternal mortality. That is unacceptable and unconscionable, especially in a place that has world-class medical care. So not on our watch. So thank you to Public Health for their leadership in that. Also, as a mom of 3 little girls, who, as a lawyer, had a lot of trouble when I was trying to nurse my kids. We're in the year 2024, and in many Harris County buildings, including our courthouses, we didn't have lactation pods, spaces, etc. So as the first mom ever elected to Harris County Commissioner's Court in her own right, we're gonna make sure we are advancing not only for moms, but for all families. So that was another partnership. We were so excited. And now we're doing that at different centers in Precinct 4 and beyond, in partnership with the Houston Bar Association. So I know many of you are leaders in a variety of organizations. If your organization has an idea, wants to co-invest in this progress, we are always all ears. Education and opportunity. One thing we did, and as a former public high school teacher, I was so proud to vote for this, is the Apprenticeship Advantage Program. This almost $11 million was invested in doubling the apprenticeship slots here in Harris County. So the bottom line is people can earn money while they learn skills and get training so that they can have a fair wage, a paying job to support them and their families. So this doubled the number of slots. It was the largest investment in apprenticeships in Harris County history because we want to make sure we are always working on developing the economic opportunities for all of our families. Another example is Harris County leads the nation in the number of naturalizations. These are folks who have gone through the immigration process and they are ready to be naturalized. But the system, again, government needs to get a lot easier and clearer how to work with. That it's really complicated to be naturalized. So we invested $6 million in partnership with the Houston Endowment, one of our local philanthropies, to expand naturalization services to make it easier and clearer for folks. There's over 300,000 individuals who are eligible to be naturalized that just haven't navigated the process. So again, we're here to make government easier and to make government work. And so many of these investments would not have been possible but for the Biden administration sending us their federal ARPA dollars. So I'm so thankful for those investments in our community. Next slide, please. And I know it's really hot. I see so many of you. They're working on the AC again. Thank you, Spring Branch ISD, for hosting us. Hopefully it'll get cooler soon, but in the meantime, I appreciate y'all powering through. Infrastructure. We're gonna have one of our brilliant infrastructure team members go into some more examples. But just at a high level, again, I want to give a shout out to the Texas General Land Office and Commissioner Don Buckingham. We all have vivid memories from Harvey. Vivid. Hurricane season starts June 1st. Experts say this could be one of the worst seasons. I was super pregnant with my baby, who's now in kinder, during Harvey. I thought I was going to have her in a bathtub. Our home was fine, but the entire neighborhood was inundated. I was praying nonstop. Luckily, she waited until the water had receded and she was born in a hospital. But my point is, I have a visual reminder of how long it's been since Harvey. She's almost 7, and it's been a long time. So we don't need to go through the drama that Harris County experienced with the last General Land Office Commissioner. But the bottom line is we now have the first woman in Texas history, doctor turned senator turned General Land Office Commissioner Don Buckingham, and she and I were able to work across the aisle in partnership with other members of Commissioners Court, and now they are investing the money that HUD sent years ago. So incredibly thankful, because we all know, especially in this part of town, the need. So I appreciate that, and HUD just gave us an extension, so we will have it's over $1 billion total, but these are the amounts that will be invested here in Precinct 4. We'll hear more about that in a second. Places for people. I keep going back to partnership, but I fundamentally believe that the government is only a small piece of the solution. The solution's in this room, the solution's in the community, in the neighborhoods, at the schools, in our places of worship. So these are more than words. An example of that is that we, each year that you all give us the opportunity to serve, we will be putting out a proactive call for partnership projects for infrastructure, whether that's sidewalks, trails, neighborhood drainage, and beyond. Last year, we were able to select 32 projects with 20 partners. Precinct 4 put in $88 million of our Precinct 4 taxpayer dollars, and partners put in 82. So what does that mean for you? $170 million of infrastructure projects will be delivered. We're basically doubling what we would have been able to do otherwise, because we believe deeply in the power of partnerships. And the Energy Corridor, let's give them another shout out, because they are one of our partners. And we're so thrilled that together we are investing $9 million to be able to do 3.5 miles of sidewalks, trails, drainage, safety improvements at Park Row and North Derry Ashford. And this is starting in construction in fiscal year 25 to 26. We've also worked with the Energy Corridor and, for example, Shell. You may have seen the Energy Hill at Terry Hershey, that beautiful art installation with all sustainable materials, reuse. If you haven't seen it, please go check it out. Many of the other energy companies saw what Shell did in partnership with us, and they're really stepping up and sending ideas of how they want to invest and help. So again, the power of partnership. We're also working on the West Harris County Transit Demand Study. We know that our precinct, Precinct 4, is the fastest growing in the region. It's one of the fastest growing areas in the country. And so much development is happening in the Northwest. So how do we make sure that we're maintaining the infrastructure we do have, improving it, and planning as strategically as possible for this growth that is happening incessantly. We also have a Katy East community plan. We've been doing active, deep community engagement. Some of you have attended. Thank you for your ideas. Please keep them coming. We also just launched a $20 million sidewalk improvement plan. So Precinct 4, $20 million. We are looking for those gaps. Again, as a former public school teacher, it is unacceptable to me that some of our kids cannot walk to school safely. We need to work on that. We need to change that together. So stay tuned for additional updates. Please go to our website, bookmark it, sign up for our newsletter. You can leave your phone number with us to get messages. If you happen to be on social media, please follow us. We are trying to communicate as much as possible because, again, I believe good government is people need to know what you're doing as stewards of their taxpayer resources. And a lot of folks still don't know what the county does. When I took office a year ago, we're like, what? What's a commissioner? What do y'all do? We're trying to change that because it's important that you know where your taxpayer dollars go. So thank you for your engagement. Thank you for spending your Saturday morning with us. We're thrilled. Next, we will hear from one of our infrastructure team members who will go into more depth. I know many of you are interested in some of the drainage projects, sidewalk improvements, intersection improvements, and beyond. So Fatima, would you please grace us with your brilliance? Thank you, Fatima. Can you give it up for Fatima, please?
Excited to talk to you about the infrastructure projects and the approach that Precinct 4 is taking with infrastructure projects in the region. So very briefly, before I describe our approach and the projects for infrastructure that are going on, I want to just highlight the mission and vision for Precinct 4. Our core purpose is to advance opportunity and justice, and we live and breathe this in how we approach all the projects and all our work that we do in infrastructure and planning for infrastructure. We deliver services to and advocate for all the people in the county, and our core strategy is to provide equitable distribution of resources, empower communities while being efficient and effective in how we do our work. So, there are certain aspirational values that are part of how we are approaching infrastructure, and these seem like buzzwords, and you've probably heard them in different places at different times, but we take them seriously. Equity, resilience, sustainability, community support, healthy places and buildings, universal design. These are all important values that are incorporated in how we do our planning and how we approach infrastructure. So for instance, in the energy corridor area, we have a particular focus on resilience and sustainability and community support. All our ongoing planning efforts and our infrastructure projects include several touch points with the community. We hear the needs, and that's how we strategize on the right solutions for implementing solutions for those needs. The Commissioner mentioned the Places for People, or the Call for Partnership Projects program. This was initiated in 2023. It's ongoing right now in 2024. The Call for Partnership Projects applications are open. Please visit our website to learn more about the 2024 Call for Projects. The deadline for submission is June 7th, and we will be reviewing all the submittals through this end of summer and fall, and we will be announcing awards in October, between 21st October and 26th. Part of the reason, as the Commissioner mentioned, we want to leverage funding to ensure that we deliver sustainable infrastructure. There have been 41 submissions, 32 capital projects were selected. And the good thing and the important thing that we always highlight is 26 of those 32 projects are in areas of high to medium social vulnerability. I'm going to take a few minutes to go deeper into this partnership project with the Energy Corridor District. It is a trails, sidewalks, and accessibility project. It factors in all the important aspirational values that I just talked about. So resiliency, safety, sustainability, and connectivity. We want to make sure that pedestrians, bicyclists, motorists, all road users have safe access from Memorial Drive all the way to State Highway 6. So the project right now is segmented. We are in the planning and design phase for segment 1, which connects the Terry Hershey Trail in the south to the Addicks Dam Reservoir Trail in the north. And while it connects those two trails, it also provides sidewalks and shared use paths along Park Row. So that's segment 1. Segment 2 connects the Central Park West Street with State Highway 6. Again, sidewalk connectivity on both sides of the street. There are multifamily, naturally occurring affordable housing in the area that will now have pedestrian and bike accessibility to the Park and Ride Metro Transit service that is alongside Central Park West. And then for pedestrians and bicyclists, it's connectivity all the way to Memorial Drive. We are doing intersection improvements, particularly focusing on safety elements, because some of these segments are on the county's high injury network, and we want to make sure that all road users, bicycles, pedestrians in particular, are safe as they traverse these very high traffic areas. The Commissioner also mentioned the Energy Hill project. It is a very important place-making project for Terry Hershey Park. It creates a sense of place right when you enter the park. It celebrates the story of the Energy Corridor community, and it has used upcycled wind farm turbines turbine blades to manufacture 10 park benches, picnic tables, and planters, and that has resulted in this beautiful space for people to gather and enjoy the sense of place that's newly created. It's a partnership project with the Shell Energy and Energy Corridor District and Precinct 4. And lastly, while we have implementing infrastructures, the way we do infrastructure projects is based off of our very robust and strategically planned community plans. The two most important ones in this area are the Katy East Community Plan and Mobility Study and the West Harris County Transit Demand Study. As you can see on the map, the Katy East Community Plan is in the unincorporated parts of the county between west of the city of Houston limits and east of the city of Katy limits. We are doing a robust public engagement and a very data-driven approach that looks at land use, the transportation system in the area, the open space and parks in the area, and looking at economic development needs. We are reaching people through community workshops, and we are going to, once our needs assessment is done, which is currently ongoing, we will be providing recommendations that will provide solutions for infrastructure resilience and housing in the Katy East area. The next study I want to highlight is the West Harris County Transit Demand Study. As the Commissioner mentioned, it's a high growth area in the West Harris County, and we are looking at how the transit demand in the area has occurred over the years. And in our recommendations, we see the priority corridors are in Park Row from Addicks Park and Ride to 1999. There is a need for transit, for fixed route transit along that corridor. State Highway 6 from Westheimer all the way till it becomes FM 1960. There's high transit demand for that corridor. And then Mason Road, north and south of I-10. So those are three high demand corridors. In addition to that, there is also a need for curb to curb service areas for on-demand transit service in the Katy area in Cypress, the Cypress area along 290 and FM 529 between Highway 6 and 99. So those briefly are our planning projects and our infrastructure projects. And with that, I can conclude my presentation. If there are any questions on infrastructure or planning studies, please reach out to me. Thank you.
Thank you, Fatima. stay nearby because I know the commissioners are going to come and we're going to do some questions. I wanted to just give a little bit of a recap for folks on what we heard at some of the stations. And again, these are just things that we heard often, not everything. So expanded connectivity and maintenance of mountain bike trails around Terry Hershey Park. Increased communication with the sheriff and the constable offices to expand patrols. Expand sidewalks to better access green space. Provide additional bike lanes along thoroughfares connecting to Terry Hershey Park. Provide multimodal station in partnership with Metro. And then study if development to the west of Addicks will cause more flooding. So I want to thank you guys for that. And I'll invite the commissioner and Fatima and maybe Will from Harris County Flood Control District to join us for some Q&A. But did want to remind everyone today is an election day for Harris County Appraisal District. So if you have not voted, you can go to Harris Votes to get information about voting locations. You can vote anywhere in Harris County now. So I would encourage everyone to do that. And then depending on where you live, there's also an election for Senate District 15. So just a quick reminder. The other piece is if you know any budding artists, our bus route contest is still open. So I don't know if you noticed our beautiful bus out front. That was from a student artist inside there. And so we are inviting student artists from every district. We have 7 in the district. So if you know someone from Spring Branch, AHISD, you can get information on our website, but we would love to have their submissions because we are branding our buses with that student art. So there's information at the table back here about the bus route contest. And with that, I will hand it back over to the commissioner, but I will invite folks, if you have questions, please raise your hands and we'll take them for the next few minutes.
Thank you. And please be sure to vote in HCOD. So Harris County Commissioner's Court, we don't value your property, that's HCOD. So be sure to vote. One good news that Commissioner's Court was able to do, we were able to increase the exemption amount for our seniors, 65 and up, and for our disabled homeowners. So Commissioner's Court will keep fighting, but we don't have the authority to value your property. So that's HCAD. So it's a partnership, as always. Be sure to vote. If you know anyone who hasn't voted, please have them vote. Will? And while he's coming up, I want to give some updates. We've been working very closely with Congressman Wesley Hunt and Congresswoman Fletcher, advocating as much as possible at the federal level and with the Army Corps of Engineers to continue the progress being made at Addicks and Barker. So there was desilting that was done, check, but my dream, and Will can talk about it, is we've submitted for a study so that we can add additional capacity at Addicks and Barker. So, meanwhile, longer-term plays, studying tunnels and other longer-term potential solutions. But the way I see the world is like, what can we immediately get done, short, mid, long-term? So with that, we open it up for questions. Again, thank you for your patience as it's a bit warm in here. Yes.
My name is Alejandra Wolsham, and I live in the Energy Corridor. Thank you so much for conducting these tours because it gives us the opportunities to express our concerns. We attend the Glacier Senior Education Center on a daily basis. We attend the exercise classes, and we requested recently to change the carpet floor in the room that is being used for exercise in the center. We know that carpet floor is not the best type to exercise, but most importantly, we have many falls over the years and many with very bad consequences. We heard that we made a request after the last fall that happened about 2 weeks ago, and we heard that the request is being taken in consideration. We would like to request now, and we recommend that before a final decision is made, that you talk to the experts to see what type of floor is the best one. It has to be a non-slippery, athletic floor to avoid further falls for the seniors that attend the center. So we appreciate that you guys are listening to our concern, but at the same time, we are requesting that you talk to the expert, and hopefully we are going to have the right floor. We heard that carpet will be replaced by now, and we don't really think that that's the best option. So our recommendation is to talk to the experts, and hopefully we will invest the money in something that will pay off for us.
Gracias, Señora Alejandra. Thank you for being here. The short answer is we will. The longer answer is we're committed to your safety. So my two grandmas, may they rest in peace, their community center was their second home. And my team and I are deeply committed to our seniors and all people of all ages, of course. So we will talk to the experts. We have a couple of our team members who work in community centers here. Could you all please stand? And we have, again, a robust team that will be able to A, look into it, and then B, we have to go through the county procurement process to see which items we can purchase. So it will take, unfortunately, to be realistic, a bit longer than any of us would like, but we're on it, we will research, and we will get it done. Yes, sir.
Well, we talked a little bit before this, so I will email you about the coordination on engineering and financial resources. The folks here that are in the city of Houston, they instituted a flood control tax a few years ago, and so I was real curious about the coordination about Harris County and the city, because all of this, well, the city residents are paying a tax based on their square footage on their slab and their driveway. So that was instituted, I don't know, a few years ago. So anyway, I hope that's not going into the general fund of city. I hope it's specifically for flood control, and I hope you guys are able to coordinate that.
Right.
I'll email you that.
Sure. Yeah, and I'll check on the tax rate. I'm not sure about that, but we could coordinate with the city constantly on current projects, future. We're working with them currently to the channel ownership program, where we're giving them some storm sewers, underground channels, and they have some historical channels that are theirs. Currently, we're working. So just an example, kind of swapping those. But and I think there is talk of lining up the bond more with the city. Because a lot of times, if the city wants to do a project, we need to either create retention or make improvements so they can improve the storm sewers. But yeah, there are, and we have partners and projects with them. But yeah, I can get you more information and follow up after it answers the questions.
Thank you, Will. Other questions? Yes, sir. And then we'll go to you, ma'am.
Yes, related again to the overall flooding issue, we know from Harvey that both sides of the Barker and Attucks dams had issues. So of course, downstream it was really a mess. Upstream, there was a lot of flooding as well. And so I'm curious, you mentioned, I don't know how you solve both problems, upstream and downstream, but maybe just increasing that capacity, and I don't know how you would go about doing that at the dam itself could help with both sides of it. But could you elaborate a little bit more, please?
Sure. So currently, Corps of Engineers, U.S. Army Corps of Engineers owns and maintains the reservoirs. Upstream, we handle those channels, and then downstream. So there's some coordination, obviously, between, everything affects the flow. So I have heard talk on expanding the actual reservoirs. I'm not sure where that is, but over the last few years, we've done, we call them desilts, where we remove sediment and all the new channels restored to original design capacity. So we've got that. We also have some bigger feasibility studies in the area. But yeah, there's definitely, it affects it. We get that question a lot. Our channels go in and then we don't manage that, and then we manage downstream. But yeah, we do have some future projects as well. And I think we're looking at possibly desilting in the reservoir, which would be kind of a new thing for us, because Corps is very, we don't do a whole lot of work in the property. So, but yeah, if there are more specifics, I can follow up with you after the meeting or whatever. So hopefully that answers.
And if y'all haven't visited Harris County Flood Control District's website, they have a very user-friendly way to look at all the different projects, but I couldn't agree more. We need to be addressing upstream, downstream, and basically everywhere. And I'm particularly concerned, obviously, with the West. We have Western Harris County, the worst affected. So I've gone to DC numerous times. We've met with the Army Corps of Engineers several times. I just talked to Colonel Blackman, who is the head of the Army Corps of Engineers here for this region, because my life philosophy is both and. I both want desilting to add capacity in the shorter term, but what are we doing mid and long term to prepare? But we, as in Harris County, don't have authority to go on the federal property of Addicks and Barker. So meanwhile, what we are doing is doubling down upstream and downstream. And again, thanks to the General Land Office, we're getting this money that Harris County's been waiting for a long time. So I think the more we can work across the aisles and work across the federal, state, county, and city governments, the more effective we'll be able to deliver. So that's my commitment to you, is I will work with anyone and everyone who wants to get things done, and we will hustle all day, every day, to just keep asking until we get the answer we want. So my husband calls that, my inability to compromise. But for my constituents, it is my utter advocacy that I will deliver as much as possible. So any other questions? I know we're at time.
Yeah, this is going to
Yes,
be the last question, but the staff is going to stick around afterwards to be able to answer more questions from you.
Hi, my name is Edith Farrell, and all of your things that have been around here are kind of infrastructure and things that I think of as government, actual priorities and the business of government. And in your presentation, you were very specific about spending lots of money. Well, all that money comes from us as taxpayers. Do you ever consider cutting back on anything? And can you address the uplift heiress?
Sure, several things. So one, I grew up check to check, so I take each dollar very seriously, and I believe we're fiduciaries of taxpayer money. And that's one of the reasons I keep looking for partners as much as possible to augment what we're able to get done. The way I see it is our job, number one, 2/3 of our budget goes to justice and safety. That is a paramount function we must deliver on. And the other big category is infrastructure. So it's justice and safety, infrastructure, and public health. And that is what the vast majority of the money goes to. Thanks to President Biden, we have gotten federal dollars that have been able to be invested in different programs. Mainly it's been ARPA, the American Rescue Plan Act. Those dollars dry up in 2026. So the way we've structured the programs that are ARPA funded have that sunset. So the meanwhile is we have to deliver the basics. Harris County has actually reduced the tax rate for 6 years in a row. Not as many people know that. I will say that again. For the last 6 years, Harris County Commissioner's Court has reduced the tax rate. And Harris County continues to grow. So the needs continue to grow. So the truth is, we need more money for infrastructure dollars. We need to maintain what we have. We need to knock all of the flood projects out. Plus, we're the fastest growing area in Texas and one of the fastest in the country. So there's sidewalks that don't exist, roads that don't exist. So what I can commit to you is that as your representative on Commissioner's Court, I will make sure every dollar is invested in a way that prioritizes the safety and infrastructure. And if there's extra money the federal government wants to send us for specific projects, thank you to President Biden and whoever may be our future presidents. But there's some non-negotiables that need to be delivered. So know that I will always prioritize the non-negotiables. With regard to the last question, Edith, Uplift Harris, that is the federal ARPA funding. That has been halted, given the recent decision by the Texas Supreme Court to essentially issue the stay. So that is still in litigation, and we will see the future of that. But that has been halted entirely. None of the payments went out given that halt. So any other?
Was it something you voted for, or?
Yes, I voted for, and that's with ARPA dollars. So yes. So that was the last question. Again, thank you. Please stay engaged. We're gonna have more listening tours. We have family movie nights. We have Women's History Month events. We have all sorts of events at the 55 parks and 10 centers. We're gonna have summer camps and a ton of family-friendly summer programming. Please stay engaged. Tell your neighbors, tell your friends, tell your family members. because we're here to serve and we want to get as much done. And if many of you represent partnering organizations, again, Harris County's open for business and we can get more done if we co-invest and get it done together. So thank you for your time and your partnership and for the opportunity to serve you. Again, Precinct 4 team members, if you can raise your hands, they are going to be here to continue answering questions, get their cards, and we're here to serve. So thank you. And lastly, we're going to enjoy, Erin's going to introduce them. To end, again, Feliz Cinco de Mayo, we have the Baile Folclórico Aguilar here, who are here to grace us with their wonderful dancing. So thank you, thank you, thank you.
So guys, this is a beautiful Cinco de Mayo dance going on behind me, and the girls and the guys are doing an amazing job. We also have the Commissioner Lesley Briones. She's leaving in a minute. I'll try to get her for like 5 minutes time, and then definitely I'll get a different time for a separate interview with different questions and everything. So yeah, thank you so much once again, and I'll try to get her time. I hope you guys have enjoyed. Hi guys, we are back again. Thank you, Maritza, so much. She's been the heart and soul of the whole project and everything for Precinct 4. Please, if you wanted to get in touch with this amazing precinct, the team is so highly active. They're all available here for every kind of assistance that you may need. Definitely, it's been a pleasurable day today for me. I'm kind of sleepy. I've been working all night, but still, I'm in here. And the commissioner was able to very nicely give me some time. She's got a lot of meetings to go today. And this is the lady who actually invited me. So thank you so much once again, Maritza, for your help. And definitely we'll be working as a team. Thank you once again, guys. Take care of yourself. Have a good one. Thanks a lot.